galactic war, 26,000 year cycle. I mean, tell them.
Ascension, star, family, symptoms, how to activate our superhuman abilities, everything that a starseed needs to know to be at optimal potential when the time is right.
Yep.
We're going to make superheroes out of you guys.
We're going to become real life metahumans, Gods and angels walking the earth again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So why I have this green screen here, this is Ismael's inauguration day into the world of podcasting. So ultimately, we're trying to get off Instagram in a few minutes here, and we're going to take this on to YouTube for our first podcast. This podcast is called The Mystic Warrior. What we're going to do here is teach the Starseed course on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. And then from 5 to 6, 5 to 6:30, however long the class goes, we're going to then switch over to YouTube and do the podcast directly after the class. And we will be answering questions from the class through the comment section on the YouTube Live. So take the Starseed course, hop on Wednesday nights to the Mystic Warrior podcast. And we're hoping that most of you guys here right now will switch over to YouTube with us in just a few minutes so we can do Ishmael's first. It's going to be your first podcast that's yours, correct?
Yes. I'm excited.
Can't wait. Me too. Yeah, we're doing a whole new business here, the Mystic Arts. Sarah's going to start doing Cosmic Love with me through our Mystic Arts YouTube page. And Sarah, Nuri, B.A., Bianca, and Sophia are doing a podcast called The Siren Song, which is the Divine Feminine version of what Ismael and I are going to be doing on the Mystic Warrior. So we're going to have, astrology, love compatibility podcasts, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. We're going to have Sarah's Astrology Investigations is going to be on there. And I'm going to continue doing my daily psychic forecasts that I do, like the moon forecast. How can you find me on YouTube? How can you find us? Yeah, a little complicated right now. You have to go to my bio and hit the YouTube link because you need 100 subscribers on YouTube before you can brand the channel, before the channel can just be YouTube/The Mystic Arts. We just started this YouTube page 2 days ago, so we only have 9 subscribers right now. So right now, the YouTube address is just some dumb serial number. I don't know it, so you have to, what I can do, I think I can link it in the comments section here. Let me try that. Let's see. Sarah, Sarah, are you still out there? If Sarah Ashley is out there, can you go to the Mystic Arts YouTube channel and pin the link so we can find it? Otherwise, if somebody wants to go to my YouTube page, if somebody wants to go to my Instagram page and then find it in my link in the profile and then pin it on here, we can have it on here. Ishmael, this shit's complicated.
But it's okay. We're going to get through this.
Yeah.
And mostly we're going to help others.
Yeah. Monica just subscribed. Monica, are you able to post the YouTube link in the comments, and then I could just pin it here in the comments? Looks like people are subscribing, so they're finding it. Yes, of course. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. You know what? BA and I went through this when we were making our podcast. Sarah and I went through this. It takes a minute to get it up and running. So this is all part of the course. There it is. Okay, wait. How do I fucking pin comment? Okay, guys. Monica just posted it. It's pinned. I hope you guys can copy and paste that. We're going to do this right now. So, Ishmael, just bear with me for a moment. If you want to talk for a minute, I'm going to try to get us onto the live on YouTube. So give me just a minute. Tell them that joke you know.
I don't really know many, but I guess I could just say that I'm grateful for everyone. I'm grateful that you guys are willing to partake in something that's going to, help humanity in the long run. And I am honored to be here to share information and to help you personally, reach your levels of whatever it is that you need to do in order to be ready for the ascension that is coming. As most of you guys know, the energies are ramping up every day. They're getting stronger and stronger. It's all leading to something big that's about to happen. We don't know when, we don't know what time, but we do know that it's happening soon because, of what's happening. And so it's best to be prepared. It's best to have the tools and the knowledge in order to, surf this wave of ascension effortlessly. And so that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you guys understand, and we're here to give you guys the tools and equipment that you need in order to be the best higher self that you could possibly become. And we're also going to be going into some of my chapters in my book in great detail. For those of you that are reading my book, we're going to be covering some of that information, and I'm going to be answering questions because I know some of you have already read my book and probably want to ask me questions about any particular subject, any chapter, anything that might have intrigued you, anything that might have perhaps even triggered you, and you just want to know more things about it. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for you guys to ask me questions where I could personally talk to you and interact with you on a person-to-person status.
So I'm figuring out how to enable live streaming. It's just, give me a minute, guys. It's a brand new YouTube channel, so I knew this was going to happen. There's always just like little things to okay. So, we ran into our first technical problem. So the channel is brand new. So you have to enable live streaming, and it looks like it takes 24 hours for it to enable that live streaming.
Okay.
So, yeah, that sucks. So I guess it's a 24-hour delay between when you ask for it to when it's able to. Once we get through this, we can do it every time. But I guess the first time you do it, they probably vet your site or something to make sure you're legit before they allow you the live streaming rights. So I guess today it's just a podcast. I guess we'll just continue doing a little more of this live here. And next Wednesday, we'll do the real podcast. Because it's going to be every Wednesday. Then the Wednesday after that is the actual class plus the podcast. So, guys, if you want to still subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sarah and I are going to live stream Cosmic Love tomorrow as long as we're past that. There's a 24-hour countdown right now. So we have 23 hours, 58 minutes, and 28 seconds until we're allowed to live stream. So, Ismael, let's just talk for a few minutes on here, and then we can just try again next Wednesday.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we're always going to run into technical difficulties because, every gadget is being operated by artificial intelligence, and and they don't, tap into our power. That's obvious. But still, we're gonna do this no matter what. Nothing's gonna stand in our way. The source does have an agenda, and the star seeds are here to fulfill the agenda of Prime Creator Source. So there is nothing that's gonna get in the way of our transformation into meta humans, as prophesied in ancient records. Because I don't know if you have been listening to the latest videos, but I've studied the original prophecies. I'm what you call a scholar in eschatology, which has a lot to do with the what they call anti-prophecy. But really, it's not the end of the world. I don't want to tell you guys or porn you guys into thinking that it's the end of the world. It's actually the end of an era and the beginning of a new era. So yes, we're in the midst. We're in the cusp of ages. This old world is coming to an end, and a new world is beginning. And according to the original prophecies, it never talked about a coming savior from the sky with our army of angels. The original prophecies talked about the sudden reemergence of superhumans or supergalactics, whatever you want to call them, from among the existing population. So in a way, we starseeds, we infiltrated this world, right? We incarnation so that we can become human in order to understand the human condition, because when the time was right, when we have access to our powers, when we go through the transformation of going from a mortal to an immortal, we're going to have these amazing abilities. And so, without really understanding the human condition, it would be very hard for us to really use these powers for the greater good.
Right.
So,
It's funny because I'm sure there's Starseed origin to this story, but it's like Thor who's banished to planet Earth in order to learn humility so he can step into the role of king of Asgard, king of the divine realm.
and I'm glad you brought that up, Taylor, because that's exactly what's happening. All these movies are actually telling us, they're getting us prepared for what's happening on the planet.
Yeah.
And it turns out that every galaxy has a guardian race, has a guardian family that exists within the center of the galaxy, and from the center of the galaxy, they are like custodians and guardians of the different realms. And according to science, every galaxy exists in 9 dimensions. Well, they call it 11 dimensions. The 10th dimension being the galactic core, and then the 11th dimension being the event horizon, which is the spin at the galactic core.
Right.
So, there's a lot of scientific evidence to support these Marvel movies. So whenever you guys watch these movies, I would suggest to see them more as documentaries than just sci-fi, because they're disclosing so much truth. And the whole concept of Superman was great about the concept of the star seeds. We chose to come to the Earth, right? We angelic, higher evolved extraterrestrial beings with amazing multidimensional powers. We gave up our power, our original divine state of divinity, to the planet. So that's around the whole concept of the coming of the star seeds and their transformation into metahumans. We had to first learn how to be human. In other words, because if we were to think about it, if we would have just showed up with our full meta-galactic powers, celestial powers, some of us would have misused them. Some of us would have, used those powers for service to self, right? And
right.
had to incarnate as one of them, as a Earth Terran, in order to understand their condition and what they will go through. And so everything has a purpose. Everything has a plan. We are the chosen. Every single one of us, every single one of you that never quite fit in, that were the black sheep of the family, or person who was always bullied. You went through all that for a reason. It's all part of the training, guys. It's all part of again, going back to the concept of Thor. It's all part of us having that humility, so that when we do restore our power, we can use it for the greater good and in service to humanity. But not only in service to humanity, but in service to the entire cosmos.
Right. So, it's like a training ground for the gods, essentially.
Pretty much. We're gods in the embryonic posture. Training to become overseers and guardians of many realms from this earth.
Wow. Yeah. And people are asking, where can they hear more about it? Ismael, I'll let you pitch your own book. I've already read it twice now, but yeah, pitch away, man, because that is the source of all of this.
All right. So for those of you that have not read my book is a synthesis of cosmology, ancient metaphysical knowledge backed up by quantum physics, and history of the Earth that goes back to the ancient galactic history of our Milky Way. Things into perspective as to where the Earth stands in relationship to the organization of universes, and how important the Earth is in the grand scheme of things. So it almost reads like a Starseed Cosmology Bible, in a sense. That's what they've been telling me. And, if you haven't had a chance to read my book, I guarantee you that a lot of your questions that you have about our origin, who are we as starseeds, and why did we come to the Earth, will be answered there. Because the whole purpose of writing that book is to awaken, the starseed community. And so, also, by taking the class that me and Taylor are going to be doing in the next 2 weeks, you're going to get all my, one-on-one attention, to the point where if you want to have any question you want to address, anything that you're concerned about, I'm going to be there to answer every question, while going over in great detail about the different realms, about the different, advanced space age communities. We're going to talk about, the history of the galaxy. talk about, your own ancestry, like where do you come from? Some of the star seeds are resonating with different star clusters. So not every star seed is a Pleiadian. Some of the Hadaians are from Hadar. Some of them are from, Alpha Centauri. Some of them are from Ta Ceti. Some of them are from Orion, Mintaka. So in this course, not only am I going to guide you as to how to connect with your star family, but I'm also going to teach you how to access your own Akashic records so that you can have access to your multidimensional versions or your multidimensional self. Because, as I mentioned in one of my videos, there's a big part of you that is still existing on a mothership and in other realms and in other realities. So you are a multidimensional being. So by taking this course, I'm going to teach you techniques and methods to activate that part of yourself where you can have access to who you really were and memories of your other past life incarnations and experiences.
Yeah, guys, this is going to be a great course. I came to Ismael with this course for a number of reasons for us to collaborate, but one of the big reasons is how do we start at the beginning of this starseed mythos? Like, what, outside of reading the book, but in working with Ismael in this class, you have firsthand access to basic questions. What are starseeds? What is their divine mission? Are you a starseed? What is the galactic origin of the Earth? And you will be able to, Ismael and I will be there to answer these questions, to go into further depth than just where you can go on the lives per se, because it'll actually be in like an academic environment and we'll dive deep into it. So yeah, we're both really excited about it. And I'm learning a lot, having just read your book 2 times now and putting together all the notes that you and I have done through our different sessions together. I'm excited about the class myself as both, like your co-teacher and also like as a student.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm excited as well. I'm actually thrilled. I've been thinking about this for the last. I've been stoked about it. I've been, preparing, and this is going to be the first time where I'm actually going to be, teaching online course.
Yeah.
So it's going to be different, people. I'm going to be revealing information that I haven't really shared in my Instagram. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't had a chance to share just because I'm doing it in increments, so that way everybody gets the information. Because if I just give you guys this whole data dump, at once, I don't want to confuse people, so I want to make sure I give you, bits and pieces at the time, so that way you can grasp and digest it all. Because the whole thing is going to overwhelm you, but in this course, I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to go deeper in a lot of information. You're going to find out about many star races out there, including the Draco and their purpose. We're going to learn about maybe over 26 different species that are working with us and that are associated with the liberation of the Earth. It's not just the galactic. So,
yeah. So once again, for anybody who's just joining now, what we're doing here, so Ishmael and I, we're talking about the class. You guys have caught on to that. But we've also started the mysticarts.org. It's a nonprofit spiritual school that's going to have courses, starseed cosmology. We're going to have astrology. We're going to have Kabbalistic Tarot. We're going to have clairvoyance. And we're going to have elemental magic. And that's just the beginning roster of 6 different classes. Ultimately, where this is going is we want it to be the biggest spiritual data bank on the internet for accredited courses with people that we trust, people that are vetted by us, people whose courses we would take ourselves to further our own spiritual academic knowledge. So this is the start of a dream of mine that I had in a hospital bed 4 years ago when I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, really asking Source, the divine, what is my purpose on this planet, and who are my soul tribe, or who are the people I'm supposed to meet along the way that are supposed to help me activate this divine purpose. And over again, I was hospitalized 4 different times for this rare disease, and over, it was about finding my soul tribe and ultimately starting this spiritual school. Okay, the spiritual school. I didn't know the name of it, and I didn't know anyone on my fucking soul tribe. I was living in Northern California. I wasn't even on social media at the time. I was going through a divorce. My last social media was like MySpace, So here I am starting this spiritual practice from a hospital bed, trying to get my mind off the kind of terminal condition I was dealing with. And then, everybody was telling me, like the friends I had, they're like, oh, if you're getting into a spiritual business, you should go on Instagram and like do all that. So 2 years ago, I signed up on Instagram, and one by one, I just started finding people that I started vibing with in this very strong soul tribe kind of a way. And there were some hits and misses. It wasn't seamless. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people that I suspected maybe in my soul tribe. Most I was right about, some I was wrong about. But ultimately, it was just this building block over time to like find the people I wanted to connect with and who I wanted to work with.
And also bear in mind that, you're going to be learning about ancient mysteries. You're going to be learning about divination. You're going to be learning about how to develop your connection to source, and without joining a secret society. In other words, we are reviving the ancient mystery school teaching without creating a cult. So this is for anyone who is willing to, without initiating you into anything. This is going to be a course that's going to allow you to develop and tap into your natural potential, your God-given potential.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, guys. And the link that Monica put on the bottom there, the link that's pinned there. So for those of you coming in now, I have the green screen here because Ismael and I were going to try to do our podcast on YouTube tonight. But I found out right now that it's our first time doing a podcast on this new channel. And apparently there's a 24-hour waiting period from when you sign up for the channel for when you're allowed to live stream. But everybody, if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's the link below. We need 100 subscribers in order to brand the channel, in order to brand it YouTube/The Mystic Arts versus YouTube/ whatever that stupid serial code is. So if we can get 100 people, thanks Bella for relating. If we can, similar story, Instagram a few years ago, and just building and finding people. But if you guys can subscribe to that YouTube channel and we get our 100 subscribers, we can brand the channel. It'll all be easier for everybody to find the links. For the coming podcast, we're going to be doing the Mystic Warrior, which is going to be a divine masculine podcast for how it's open to women too. Of course, we want everybody to watch, but it's going to be Ismael and I doing it. And we want to also speak to the men out there. How do you get involved in spirituality? How do you get involved in starseed cosmology? What is your purpose? What does it have to do with day-to-day life, with fitness, with health, with diet, exercise, with all these things that get us out of the matrix and make us strong and vital?
And most importantly, to get men involved in this awakening, because apparently from what I've heard is there's not a lot of men that are doing their part. It seems like most of the people that are awoken are women at this time.
Yeah.
Bring, men up to speed, right? Into this higher level of understanding. So.
Yeah, one of the interesting things that Ishmael and I discovered that we had a background in is like, when we were kids, we were all about superheroes. We were all about action movies. Like, I think him and I mean, you can speak for yourself, but we always kind of looked up to warriors, essentially, whether it was, Marvel Comics or like Van Damme movies. You know what I mean? It's like, we were children in the 80s. It was a Cold War. Like, it was a very action, machismo time to grow up in. And I was, not like a badass when I was a kid. I was very different. I was an artist and all that, but I really looked up to that. And I think you and I, over time, obviously separately, cultivated the spiritual side of ourselves, but never forgot about the heroes, gods, and fucking muscle actors that we looked up to as a child,
I know, it's amazing. Yeah, it all boils down to Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey. It's something that we all go through, including the women. It's like we go through this dark period in our lives in order to, access who we really are and reach our full potential in the end. And, that's one of the things that I think me and Taylor and many of the starseeds went through. It's like we all go through this dark moment in our lives, the dark night of the soul, over and over and over to get to where we're at now. So I just wanted to, share that everybody has the hero's journey deep within their genetics. It's just a matter of learning how to do it. Yeah,
exactly. And people are asking about the link for the YouTube. Monica posted it should be pinned there, guys. If it doesn't work, I don't know, technology, man, but that is the link for the YouTube channel, for the Mystic Arts YouTube channel. And that is more than just me and Ishmael. That is going to be me, Ishmael, Nuri Sunshine, Sarah Ashley, B.A. Shea, my partner in crime in Fame and Fortune, Bianca Montalongo, Sophia Sadie, they're all doing a Divine Feminine podcast. That's going to be kind of a different perspective on the Mystic Warrior, mine and Ishmael's Divine Masculine podcast. So they're going to start rolling out their Divine Feminine podcast on Tuesdays. We're ultimately, once we find our rhythm and once YouTube allows us in, we're going to start doing our podcast on Wednesdays after the Starseed class. And then BA and I, many of you guys know her, we do Fame and Fortune. We're going to do that podcast Mondays. Sarah and I are going to do Cosmic Love on Thursdays. We're going to have a full roster. This is the Mystic Arts YouTube channel is going to become, ultimately, it's going to be a spiritual network, like a spiritual entertainment network. So that's the goal here. This is much bigger than just one podcast with Ishmael and I. This is going to be many podcasts with many divinely activated people. And we're looking for guests. This is open to everybody, guests and people with ideas who want to join and all that.
In other words, our collective endeavor is to bring forth a global renaissance.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. We had the, planetary renaissance that took place in Europe 100 years ago that got us out of the dark ages, right, into the America and the age of science and technology. So now we're going to take it further and resurrect the ancient arts of magic, of Jedi training. How to master your mind.
Yeah.
Live in balance with your spirit, mind, and how to really just learning how to live in the now and how to be mindful at all times, knowingly that you're constantly creating the future. You're constantly affecting the future and the past.
Yeah.
By state of mind. So it's going to be phenomenal, people. We're going to bring this knowledge to as many people as possible because Taylor, but I do really think that we do need to create another renaissance, but on a global scale where it just reaches millions and as a result it changes everything.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I think you and I have we have a very different background in the fields of spirituality that we study, cosmology and all that. You've been very deep in the starseed lore and mythos, and I've been deep in tarot. Was my intro. My background is my mom has written many books on the occult. She's dived deeply into cosmology also, but she's basically a Kabbalistic tarot author, and that's my family background. My grandma painted her deck and all that. And when I went to start my business coming out of the hospital, I was really into fitness and nutrition at the time because of my autoimmune disease. It changed everything. I had to eat clean and all that kind of stuff. And I had a spiritual practice. I was doing tarot readings through Zoom and things like that. And I was a certified life coach. And all these things felt different to me. They felt compartmentalized. We're mystics, exactly, the mystic arts. That's the intersection of Ishmael and I. But so as I was taking clients doing tarot card readings, I was also a certified fitness trainer and a certified life coach. And I was thinking to myself, how does this all intersect? What is the nexus? What does bench pressing and squatting have to do with tarot card reading? Is there a connection? What's the connection between kickboxing and astrology? And I was racking my brain for a couple months trying to think about that because I'm like, there is no connection between kickboxing and astrology. They don't connect. And then I landed on this idea, and it's not even that original, but I don't know. I was missing it. And then one day I realized I'm a mind, body, spirit coach. That's what I am. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a fitness trainer. I'm not an astrologer. I'm a mind, body, spirit coach. It is holistic. They're all connected. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, I saw, tarot is related to astrology, is related to bench pressing. You know what I mean? I'm like, there it is. And starseed cosmology to friggin' deadlifts. You know what I mean?
That's the same approach that all the greatest warriors took, like Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Other warriors in the past.
Right.
Believe that there was some sort of connection between mind, body, and spirit. And, we see it through these movies. When we watch Van Damme and when we watch, any or action-packed movie, it's all about, learning how to control your mind so you could read why you're fighting in that, tournament, right? See it in Karate Kid. I mean, about 600 years ago. It was about bringing back real science, which is spirit science, metaphysics, astrology, numerology. Like, this is all the stuff that the Vatican has been suppressing for 1,300 years. And in the past, people like us used to get burned at the stake for wanting to do what we like to do best, for being healers, for being, mystics, for being hermits. And now it's like there's millions of us. So what are they going to do? Once we all link up, it's going to be like honestly, bro, I think it's going to change everything.
Yeah, I do too. And, that's exactly the philosophy, the ideology, the thought process that went into the mystic arts. It's like, this is the revolution, guys. This is a spiritual revolution. And it's not about meditation. It's not about escapism. It is about changing, transforming the vibrational reality of our current planet and our current circumstances. It's not about 5D ascension just to go into another realm to escape the inconvenient mortal coil that you're stuck in. It's about transforming and transmuting that mortal coil into a vessel of power, of influence, of spiritual and divine ascension.
Absolutely. Yes, we're looking into making butterflies out of worms.
Yeah.
It's a transformational process.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's been some questions about I think my tarot deck that I would recommend. I use my mom's tarot deck, Tarot of the Spirit. And I know a lot of people say tarot. I say tarot. That's how I was raised. It's just a way of pronouncing it. So Tarot of the Spirit is the deck that my mom wrote and my grandma painted. I also use the Crowley Thoth deck. I also use Rider-Waite, of course, everybody's background, Rider-Waite deck. But Tarot of the Spirit is a deeply Kabbalistic tarot deck. And if you have any questions on what the Kabbalah is, what the Tree of Life is, I teach courses in that. I teach Kabbalistic Tarot, and I teach with Sarah Ashley. My Kabbalistic Tarot class will probably drop in about a month or so onto the mysticarts.org. And Sarah Ashley and I are also teaching Intro to Astrology, where we're doing birth charts, natal charts, signs, houses, angles and axis, and all that stuff. And then we're going to do Synastry Astrology also, where we get into twin flames, soulmates, and karmic connections. So all of these things, guys, are going to be at the mysticarts.org with my and Ishmael's flagship class, which is Starseed Cosmology, which we're going to kick off the website. And then ultimately, like I said, Kabbalistic Tarot, Astrology, Elemental Magic, and Clairvoyance are going to be part of the roster of courses we teach. Oh, the Tarot deck is available on Amazon. Yeah, just type in Tarot of the Spirit and, wherever Amazon, wherever books are sold, guys, Barnes & Noble, wherever the fuck. Tarot of the Spirit. Yeah. Got anything else, Ishmael?
Enjoying the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I think we're both excited. Like, this started in a conversation, I think 2 months ago. Yeah, are all the classes you're talking about $150? $150 is the going rate right now for the classes. Pretty much all the classes will be about 3 or 4 classes long. Okay, so the Starseed class is going to be 3 Wednesdays. It's going to be like June 1st, June 8th, June 15th. And then the astrology classes are 4 classes. We'll link those soon. We haven't even picked the first date yet. And then Tarot, that's 3 classes. Everything has got more than 1 class to it. So, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. That's the link below. You can also find the link to our YouTube channel under my name in the bio, under the Direct Me bio. And if we get 100 subscribers for the YouTube channel, we can brand the YouTube channel. So it'll be, YouTube/Mystic Arts.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about this, Taylor, because, I don't know if I shared this with anyone, but my original dream when I was 18 years old was to be a professor at a university level. That's what I did when I was 18 and 19. But, things went a different way for me. So, I ended up doing research, writing my first book and my second book. So in a way, I feel like I'm still fulfilling my destiny, but I'm just doing it in a different platform other than sitting in a lecture hall and talking to about 50 to 60 students.
Right.
So this is an opportunity to, really share with you guys everything that I know, a lot that I know, and also let you guys pick my brain about things. Because I can really answer everybody's DM. I get a lot of questions daily from people all around the world wanting to know about this and that, sending me videos, asking me my feedback on them. And this is going to be a perfect opportunity for you to actually, have a one-on-one with me where I could just directly answer your questions and really just elaborate on any subject, anything that that you have in mind.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this.
I am too. And guys, like, I think people, the comments going by fast, but I think people are asking about expansion of the Mystic Arts. I think somebody just said something about an energy healing class. Yes, to expand the Mystic Arts, you have to start somewhere. So we're just starting with our student classes right now.
I also see this is going to go global in a sense where, as more and more teachers come to the arts or help to teach, eventually, everyone's people are coming to know different lessons.
Take any questions from anyone and then just wrap it up at 7:30?
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah. So, guys, we won't have. Oh, for one, Ismael, are you actually a university professor or a universe professor? Well, I don't know. It could be a typo, but are you actually a universe professor?
I do consider myself a cosmic ambassador. So yes, in that regard, yes, I am a galactic, intergalactic teacher. Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. And guys,
Becoming book is going to be really a mind-blowing material that I'm going to be writing, that I'm actually working on, but it's going to be done in about a year or two. So,
yeah,
throw that out there, that there's going to be a part 2 to our cosmic origin.
I love it. I love it. Oh, she did mean, it wasn't a typo. She did mean a professor of the universe. So there you go. Yeah. Cosmic ambassador.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, you can ask anything. Backgrounds, interests. I won't have all the answers because we're launching. Like, what this is. You have control over the product, but you don't have control over the outcome of the product. You know what I mean? This is going to begin here, and where the mysticarts.org is in a year from now, and 2 years from now, and 10 years from now, I have no idea. Like, it really could be an alternative form of education for the entire planet.
Well, that's the goal, Taylor. That's the goal, to replace the old paradigm of education to this one, to one where people actually learn how to meditate, learn how to expand their minds, learn how to do how to connect and how to access and how to develop their power. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, the whole purpose of this is to get you guys to become sovereign, multidimensional beings. So that's the whole goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. Somebody asked again the name of the deck. It's Tarot of the Spirit. Of the Spirit. So that is my mom's deck, Tarot of the Spirit, published in 1991 by Wiser Books. I know Wiser is very popular in the occult world. And the deck, published separately, the Tarot of the Spirit deck was published through U.S. Games, which has published all of the tarot decks that most people know about, from Rider-Waite to Thoth deck to the Marseille deck. Most of the common tarot decks were published through U.S. Games. So my mom is among the gods and scholars of the Kabbalistic tarot world, and her book was published in 1991 or 92, I can't remember, when I was 10 or 11 years old. And it's still a very high-selling book, and you can still buy it on Amazon now, 31 years later. So it's pretty impressive. It's a pretty impressive publication. Hear anyone talk about Altair? Ismael, you know about Altair and Elohim. I know Altair. Now I'll let you talk about that. Go ahead and talk about Altair.
Altair star system?
Yeah.
The Altair star system is a human population of a Type 2 interstellar culture. And I don't really know much details about Altair, but I do know that they were very crafty in developing technology faster than other human-like populations. And their technology has a lot to do with developing a type of general AI system where even their ships become sentient, but at the point where they're being programmed by the person. So it's not like the bad AI, right? So it's AI that's under the control of the individual, and they're very tall, about 7 foot tall, and they range from skin tones and colors, and they were actually a latecomer to the Federation. So they're a humanoid population. Yeah, that's the Altair star system.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's a question about doing tarot cards. So how do I know the right card to pick? So what I do is I shuffle the deck 3 times, and as I'm shuffling it, I think about the question I want to ask, and then I really deeply concentrate. I mean, I close my eyes. I take this very seriously, and then I cut the deck in half to the left and restack it. I restack the right part of the deck onto the left part, and then I turn over the top card, and that is the main energy card for what it is I need to know. And then the card that is lying down on the bottom of the deck, I call that the underlying energy. So that'll be like the minor energy for what it is I need to know, or maybe a different aspect of it, like the issue outcome or something like that. But that's how I do my 1-card/2 card tarot readings. It's ultimately a 1-card reading because it's a top card that really has the powerful answer. It's that second card that's more of a guide to assist you on whatever the energy is of that first card. Dreams. What do we know? Dream interpretation and astral projection would be another class that I would like to add to the mysticarts.org. I think dreams are fascinating, whether it's, cultural, religious, Jungian, mythological symbolism. They're always trying to tell us something. And I think astral projection and a dream interpretation class would be a extremely interesting class to add to our roster. Is it your higher self that houses it, or it comes to you based on your frequency? What magical energy makes a card come to the forefront? Like I said, shuffling, and then I cut the deck wherever it feels natural to me. So yes, I believe that the message is being channeled from a higher source. I have 2 guides. One is Divine Masculine, one is Divine Feminine. They both have names, and I address them by their names as I'm drawing my card. All right. $150 will be for all 3 classes. So yeah, $150 gets you all 3 of the Starseed classes. $150 will also be the price of the Tarot classes, 3 classes. I believe it'll be the price of the Astrology classes too, which are 4. So that's a pretty good deal. Preparing new decks. I'm not an overly ritualistic person. I mean, you could, you know, hit it with the smudge stick or just, you know, give it a kind of once over blessing. But I enjoy chaos magic too, which is pretty informal. It's kind of like the punk rock of magic versus a lot of these ceremonies get very formal. And, you know, I study and I don't like formalized ceremony. That becomes to me like classical music. And I'm from a punk rock background. I'm like, let's just go right to the core of this shit. You know, we don't have these answers are not in some ancient tome or like, you know, some silly rogue or something like that. Power is power, and power is dictated by emotion, guys. Emotion is the key source of all of this cosmic power. It's not in the ritualization of it, it's in the manifestation. For wrapping up, guys, we're not victims of the Matrix. Okay, I happen to believe that this Matrix everybody talks about is not some nefarious artificial, you know, stimulation by, you know, an evil race of people experimenting on us. I believe it's an organic spiritual simulation, and I think we do have the ability to affect, to influence it, and control it ourselves through the things that we're talking about at themysticarts.org. We are not victims of this life. We have agency. We have efficacy. We have the ability to change things. So don't look to external resources. There's all these, you know, it's not the Illuminati who's destroying your life and making you stay at some job that you hate or in some life that you can't stand. You have the ability to affect change in your own life. You just have to decide what it is that you prioritize, decide what your passion is, decide what your dreams are, and start going for that instead of letting other people control you.
I agree, brother.
Yeah. Shall we wrap it up there?
Yeah, let's do.
All right.
We've said enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, mysticarts.org, themysticarts.org, that's where you're going to find all our classes. Ismael and I launched the Starseed class June 1st. It's $150. It's 3 classes. Please join us. You're going to have full access to Ismael. I will too, and I appreciate that. Ismael knows a lot about this Starseed stuff, and I'm learning from him just as much as I'm a co-teacher in this. So sign up for that course. We would love to have you. It's going to be great. And next week, you and I will kick off our Mystic Warrior podcast. We'll pregame it here on Instagram and then bring everyone over to YouTube and do our live podcast.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
All right, everyone. Nice talking to you all. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
See you.
See ya.